Here we go, going live. Here we go, we're going live, and we're on. I think we're on. Yeah. Welcome to live chat with Liz and Skatz.
Hello.
Hello. It's a short chat tonight. Well, we hope so. I've just
Probably
looked at my notes, and there's a huge bit there.
We're trying.
Yeah, we are. We just wanted to give you an update, really, because we haven't put out a video for 2 weeks. And sorry if you were expecting us last week.
Yeah, really sorry about that. Unforeseen circumstances.
Yes, we had some family business to attend to last week, so we had to postpone it at the last minute. Yeah. But we're here now. We are. You can see, can't you? And we're going to be telling you all the exciting things that have happened, that are happening with our channel and our plethora of other YouTube channels which have been taking up loads of our time recently. And if you stick around, you'll get the latest news about Spain.
Ole!
So here you go. Let's do the theme.
Oh yes.
I've done some words. Which will tell you what it's all about today. And well, you can see the banner tonight. Well, anyway. Lots of changes. We are changing channels. Changing who? Ting. Oh, we have a ting there as well. Any ting we have, anything I can do, you can do better. So, what's changing? Everything's changing.
So a lot's changed actually. Yes, we're thinking the other day about the fact that we've got U2 Spain, which is Skatz's fabulous channel that's on Saturday mornings live chatting to experts and people who live and work in Spain and how it all works and how to get out there. And then I've got my U2 yoga, which I changed from Elizabeth Scattergood yoga to U2 yoga. And so I've decided to do an aromatherapy channel.
This is the big sum up of what we're going to be talking about. This is good. Yeah. We didn't even practice this.
So, and I've just decided this week I think I should be U2 aromatherapy.
Yeah.
Because let's just all be U2.
Not the band, but U2, TOO. Of course, if you've seen that other bit.
So I just think that's how we should do it. And just become just one big brand where we've got lots of different little branches to our sort of holistic health. And
this is it. And it's all about niches. Yeah. Niches, not Nietzsche, because that would be a bit depressing. But it's all about, because we started off with this channel, the Liz and Skatz channel, and it was about health, it was about yoga, it was about meditation, it was about weight loss, it was about keto and fasting and aromatherapy and Pippity Scatterdog.
And it was reporting on our weight loss, wasn't it?
It was.
Your diabetes and things like that. So. And
we realised it was a bit of a mishmash, and anybody looking at the playlist could be very confused if they came just for one thing, and then every, all of the next 6 videos were about something completely differently. So that's why we did the split. And Liz was very dubious about it to start with, because we're going to have 3 times as much work.
Well, and it is 3 times as much work. There's no denying that. But I think it's for the best in the end. However, for those of you who don't realise, YouTube is basically, you need to have a proper niche. And with the first channel, the Liz and Skatz channel, this channel that you're watching on right now, we were kind of getting a bit off niche, as it were. And because we weren't continuing with the keto and fasting, because you got to your goal weight, I haven't, but that once that happened, and once Skatz tipped his diabetes out of the bin, that was it really. And so there wasn't really much more to talk about. So
we lost a bit of focus, didn't we? Because it was all about because we were talking about the same things, but we were getting really excited about Spain, so we kind of
So of course the thing is with YouTube is that you need to kind of keep it fairly narrow, the niche narrow, and so that's why we've gone off and done U2 Spain, and we've done U2 yoga, and now U2 aromatherapy as well, because we're still not working, so we might as well.
That's right.
Might as well do something.
So on the yoga and meditation channel, of course, that's starting to build up nicely. Liz is just kind of starting to add to the free yoga and meditation ones that the videos that are on there already, and so these are free classes you can have online that you can do every day if you want. And what's the latest one which you put out today?
The latest one is the latest one which is out today is the Gayatri Kriya, which is basically a 15-minute class that is for absolutely every part of your body. It's incredible. It works on the core, digestion, it works on emotions, it works on the spine, it works on muscles, and it energizes you as well. So there's, for everything you can possibly think of, that's what this particular Gayatri Kriya is all about. And it's the first thing I learned when I did my yoga teacher training. The first thing we had to do as our practical to actually show everybody that we could actually teach was to teach the Gayatri Kriya. And it starts off with Kapalabhati breath, which is an active breathing, which is really good for helping your detoxification and keeping your immune system boosted as well. So of course in these times it's really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But there's lots of other classes as well, and I'm trying to stick to the shorter classes, because most people have been saying, when I've been asking how long do you want a class for, they're not saying can you give me an hour and a half class, they're saying can I have a 10-minute class. And I'm assuming it's just so that you could just slot a bit of yoga into your day. And so that's basically what I've been doing, just to try and keeping it as short as possible. So under 20 minutes for the whole video, and 15 minutes of actual yoga. So
I'd encourage you to get all that signed up. So whenever a new one comes out, you've got the notification coming through.
Yeah.
And
so that's because yoga.
Yeah, and you're not at the moment doing them on a kind of regular day. So
no.
Yeah, it is best to
I'm trying to get
be subscribed to that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to get one out a week really at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's proven a bit difficult. I've been suffering with a bit of anxiety and stress with all this stuff that's been going on, and also been a bit kind of down in the dumps. So it's taken me like a huge effort to get stuff out and about. But I'm feeling a bit better now. Feel like I'm coming out of the winter slump. So
yeah, and this is the first broadcast we've done this year in the daylight.
Yeah.
Over there it's daylight. We actually had to shut the blinds because we looked all bright blue because of this background, and you could almost see through us. So because of the light, because of this green screen, which is blue. And anyway, so the other channel, U2 Spain, that's coming on leaps and bounds. I mean, I've only been doing it for 6 weeks, and on that one, in case you didn't know, I interview experts and expats and exciting people who are all full of information and fun. And one of the videos there is now up to about 976 views. It's going to top 1,000 views over the next couple of days, and we've not done that with any other video before. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
To massive YouTube channels, that's what they do in about 5 minutes. But for us, it's a real
huge
milestone.
And that's all down to Skatz. That is, he's done an amazing amount of work, and what people don't realise is that you have to do a lot of social media stuff. You have to be very annoying and pester everybody to watch things, and to try and it's almost it's quite horrible actually. But I said once it's like grooming. You have to groom people to come and see you.
And the thing is with this one, you don't have to do that as much. All you have to do is kind of tell people certain bits of information that they've asked for, and it's the people who are asking that want to move to Spain, and they're usually from Britain, and they having trouble now because of Brexit. And I've gathered a lot of information, and all of the videos I'm doing on that are aimed at that group. So it's a narrow niche of people who are wanting to move. Yeah. It's only in the thousands of people, so they're all looking for pieces of information. And I think U2 Spain is the only interview program where we talk to an expert every week. So it's on exactly the same day. It's on at 9:30 in the morning. That's GMT +1, so that's UK time, Irish time, or 10:30 in Spain.
And the rest of Europe.
And the rest of Europe. So
majority of Europe. That's
really good. And this Saturday we're going to do something slightly different on top of what we normally do. There's going to be an update on whether it's possible to travel to Spain and whether you qualify for travel, because there have been some Brits turned back in spite of following the rules, and it's all been a bit mad recently. And so I thought we'd do a kind of a news update this week towards the end of the show. And at the start of the show, it's going to be our third programme about the non-lucrative visa, which is what the sort of people who've retired, really, because you can't work on this non-lucrative visa. And it tells them how to do that and what kind of money you need in the bank, etc. So we've come to the third one, which is all about the kind of nitty-gritty and the little details, apart from the finances and the health medical stuff. which we dealt with in the first two. Yeah, it's really
involved.
good. And the expert I've got is on every 2 weeks. And then in between that, I speak to people who've already gone through the process.
Yeah, you've had Neil on who walked the Camino.
Yeah.
And what were they? Mark and
hopefully our future landlady was on last Saturday.
So
and she's self-employed, so that was
also a self-employed musician or music teacher, isn't she?
Yeah.
Hi Cheryl, if you're watching.
Hello.
So it's we're very excited to be passing on the information that we're learning at the same time as well.
Yeah.
And also it's really helpful for us because we still don't know if we're going to need to do the big visa or whether Skatz has got his Irish citizenship.
Yeah. And we'll come on to exactly what's happening with that in a minute.
Okay.
And these...
Sorry, I didn't know.
Pulling you
I
back.
have no idea.
I know, I've got some notes up there, but Liz just makes it up as she goes along, which is brilliant. I think it makes for a good discussion if we do it that way.
It's so funny.
I do some preparation.
I'm way ahead. Already.
And this is just like I do on Saturdays. I have some notes, and the other guy's the expert, and he can do it off the top of his head.
Do it differently.
Yeah. And this is helping me talk to people as well. This is helping my confidence. Yeah, I have. I used to be really scared to use the telephone. And this is way before mobiles came out, and I grew up like that. And eventually, when I was in my 30s, I went and got a job in a call centre. So I would I'd be calls coming at me without me being able to have any control over them, and I did that deliberately so I could get over it. So this is my chance to get over the social problems that I have.
You find it quite difficult on Zooms and things like that, don't you? And in just general company, it's quite difficult. But that's
just dump me in a room full of people, and I'm don't know what to do. It doesn't seem like that when I'm on here, but I do have some notes. If I've got, I'm somebody who works to a script, although none of this that I'm saying now is in the script, so. That's helping.
There you go. You see, it's all working beautifully well.
Back to the script. Both of these both of these channels that we're talking about, the YouTube channels, you can find links to in the description below. If you don't know how to get to the description, then ask in the comments, which everybody knows how to get to the comments, or in the chat, which is over there or down there.
Yeah, we could pin it in the comments as well. So
we can. Yeah, so it's the very first comment, which you'll see even under the video if you're watching on your phone. And on your way past to look for those, click on the like button if you've liked what we're talking about. And
if you just like us.
Yeah.
Because we like you.
We do. If you don't like us, then what are you doing watching? But hit the don't like at all button.
It all helps us.
It does. Yeah. So yeah. And so the other channel, Liz mentioned it earlier, is what used to be Elizabeth Scattergood Aromatherapy.
Bit of a mouthful.
Yes, but and that one stayed kind of untouched for a while, didn't it? It had some videos in there.
Yeah, I'd sort of put up some music and some stuff, and I didn't really. I mean, this was like I've had that channel since 2017. I noticed on there. I was like, oh my goodness, I've had it such a long time. And I put up videos of me singing Joni songs, which of course I had to take off now because if I want it to be monetised, you can't have copyrighted songs on there. So I've taken those off. And I've just kind of cleaned it all up and set it all up, and I've just rebranded it today as U2 Aromatherapy because let's welcome it to the family.
Yeah, so that's 3 channels under the name U2. And you might be thinking, if you're changing that one to be under the YouTube banner, why not do the same for the Liz and Skatz channel? Well, thank you for that idea. That's amazing. Thanks for telling us. We'll get started on that straight away. So, and I suggested that we should call it YouTube Blog. But Liz isn't sure about that.
I don't know if it's all just a blog, but I mean, because we do these live chats and there'll be stuff.
Isn't that blogging?
Not really, no, because we script it. Blogging is not scripted.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not so strict on this kind of thing, but
no. If you,
anyway,
I mean, you just sort of, it's about you're just following people's lives on a blog or a vlog is what I think it should be anyway.
I'm sure some people have scripts for these kind of things.
But, I mean, for example, some of the people that I watch on a regular basis, I've got about 3 channels that I watch regularly who are proper vloggers. And one of them is, 2 of them are van lifers, but one of them is not anymore. But anyway, that's by the by. But it's actually quite interesting because they are just doing things. They're building a house. One of them's building a house, another one is doing up a house, and another one is just travelling around one of his own country. And they just pick up the camera and talk, and they don't sort of, obviously they probably think about what they're going to say, but I don't think they write it down or anything. They just go for it. And I think two of them have been going for many years now, so I think that it becomes very easy to them. They can just go ping and they're on camera and it's fine. And at the end of one they do bloopers, which is really funny anyway, because it's just like you see that they're having trouble getting words out sometimes as well, which is fantastic. So that's what I think of as a blog or a vlog channel, is where you're just following you around all day and doing lots of B-roll and things like that. And of course that's what will be happening when we move to Spain. We'll be doing a lot of that. We'll be taking you with us. You'll be on the boat with us, and you'll be driving down through Spain in the car, and we'll show you where we are and what we're doing and everything, and chatting about how it's all going. And when we get to the car,
so it will be a blog.
So that will be then, but of course all the stuff that came before isn't a blog.
No, that's true.
It was all the stuff. So and it's so
difficult. Anyway, what do you think, viewer? What do you think? Tell us what you think. Is it a good idea, or if you have any other ideas for the name, any ideas for a catchy U2 something?
And we want it to be
just call it U2 something.
U2 something, or just U2.
U2 anything.
Or just U2.
Well, yeah, I'm scared of it being mistaken for the band.
Maybe.
Although when you put something at the end of it, it's obviously not. But it's in the spelling as well. I don't know.
See. We'll have a think about it anyway.
But hopefully, the next time you see us in a week's time, we'll have an answer. We'll have got it, and then we'll sort of rebrand. We're going to keep this Liz and Skatz logo and the ting, and I think build the U2 something, whatever it is, around that.
Well, maybe it could be U2LS.
U2LS. Interesting. Tell us what you think, and hit the like button.
Or U2 ting.
U2 ting. Oh, U2 ting. Oh, that's my favourite so far. So, any news about Spain? Let's move on to that. Well, it's. I'm sure we've said this so many times. It's very much a waiting game. The finances. We are. So the finances are almost in place, but the exchange rate from pounds to euros has taken a massive tumble today, and we were going to wait a little while anyway for that to reach the peak that we're looking for to maximise the funds. So that's the finances. Citizenship. Now I certainly thought that I'd hear by the end of March, but there's just no way of getting any kind of prediction on the timing of individual cases from the Ministry of Justice. We've sent 3 or 4 ministers emails, and they're chasing it, including the little terrier of a man who's normally the right sort to get answers, because he snaps at their heels until he gets results. But even he's coming back with exactly the same response that they give to everybody.
But it was only yesterday and today that they've been on it, so it's still early days yet. So we may get something by the end of this week, which hopefully we'll be able to report on next week. But
maybe.
At the moment,
and I have written to the minister herself. Helen McAtee, I think her name is, and we'll see. But this uncertainty is killing us.
Yeah,
we don't even know how quickly they're getting through applications, because in January they were saying that people whose applications are complete and ready to go, or are in the advanced stages, they would be in the 4,000 that they'd clear by the end of March, and that's what I assumed. I was in, because I'd had an email saying advanced stages. So,
but then I found another document on the Citizenship's website saying that there were some 4,000 people who had been their citizenship applications were over 2 years in waiting. From the beginning to this stage right now. And so that made me go,
yeah, mine's only 15 months at the moment. So although they say it should be between 6 and 12 months, they do say that some people's can take longer. And I don't know why. This is the thing. They don't say why. They can't tell you why, because some people's are going to take longer than others. And so that's why they're giving that answer. And because most of the people in their office aren't in the office, they're working from home. So they haven't got the paperwork, and so all of that's taking longer. And all of the departments that they're contacting, they've got to contact Also the police in the UK, which is, they've got to check my criminal record going back I don't know how many years.
10 years.
Not that I've got a criminal record, but they've got to check that there isn't one.
Oh no, it's back to birth, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, so we can't really move on until we know about that, because there are two very different roads to go down depending on the answer, either EU citizenship or non-EU, and they have such different processes towards moving to Spain that we can't head down one of them until we know, because if we head down one of them, we'll already be paying money. And so that's the thing that's holding us back. Once we do have the answer, I'll be able to apply for the Irish passport, or if it's unsuccessful, start off the process of getting visas, which I'd rather not think about until it becomes necessary.
But I mean, the beauty of that is that Chris, who you will see on U2 Spain tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, sorry. What day of the week? Oh my god. He is an expert in getting people from the UK to Spain. He's an expert in all of the bureaucracy that you need to go through, the visas, the TIE cards, and everything that you might need to do, the money that you need in the bank, the accountants that you might need, a lawyer if you need one. He can put you in touch with everybody. And this is why he's such a great hub of information, and why I think the U2 Spain channel is doing so well, because of Chris and yourself coming together and working on how to get people from the UK, or people with British passports like us as it stands at the moment, to get to Spain. And I think that this is why it's working really well. Yeah,
that's
it's so difficult. And until we know whether we've got whether Skatz has got citizenship and he can get a passport before the end of this year, we're just like
stuck. So
we can't plan anything, we can't do anything. We've just got to sit here
really hoping for the citizenship. Because the other route is, and I know we've got Chris, but it's more complicated, more expensive, and it's a pain in the backside. And we'd have to do it under Liz's name, because I don't think that there's enough proof of what I do. As we found out with getting the PUT payments, I spent a lot starting up in a bubble theatre company and spending a lot on scenery and all kinds of things and expenses while that was building up. So it looks like I wasn't making any money at all, because there were lots of expenses on the business.
Because at the end of the day, the tax return was like
net earnings kind of woeful tax return. But if you look at somebody like Donald Trump, he lives on a kind of negative basis because he's always spending and always spending. He's doing it to avoid taxes. I was just doing it because I like puppets. So there's a big difference between us.
He was setting up a new business as well. That was the whole thing. Of course, the year or 18 months before COVID struck, that's what you were doing. And so, it looked like you weren't earning any money.
That's right.
So we're kind of in limbo on that score. So keep your fingers crossed for us, please.
Indeed.
That Skatz gets some sort of an answer soon, because as soon as he gets the citizenship document in his hands, we can go.
Yeah, and the next stage is...
I mean, don't mean this like now, but I mean, it means we can go this year.
That's it. And the next stage is the same either way, whichever way we go. There's the confirmation of where we're going to live, the booking of the ferry, the booking of the removals, the further paring down of our possessions in the house, so we don't need as much to remove and it doesn't cost as much. There's the dog inoculations and their passport.
But that's all kind of set up. I know when that's all got to happen.
And I
know roughly where to get the removals. I know what to do with the dog. Cheryl, bless her, is hopefully going to be the place where we're going to live. So this is what we're waiting for. The only problem is with the visa application, if we have to go in as GB citizens, is we don't know how long that's going to take.
Well, we know how long it takes from the moment we give it in, but we don't know how long. This is part of the problem, is that we'll have to start some of these processes, like removals, booking the removals, booking the ferry, and packing up boxes, even before we apply for the visa, because the visa's only got a time limit. Once you've got the visa, you've only got 3 months before you've got to be there, and then you've got to have applied for residency. So this that's another reason I'd rather have the passport, because you can just drive into Spain with that. And of course, we don't know when it goes and we can do all of this stuff, it'll get really, really busy, and we don't know whether we'll be working or not during that process as we get later in the year.
Yeah.
And as well as making the videos continuously as so that we're moving forwards. It's going to be a very busy time. So so again, it's like being a racehorse at the starting gate and pumped up with adrenaline.
It's more like the greyhounds barking in
the
cage.
Greyhounds, yeah. and not knowing whether they've got to be there for months and months and months. So
but you see,
that's the frustration.
I mean, it's a problem, but I mean, we'll work it out one way or another. Also, the problem is if we do go in with visas and with the GB passports, we will not be able to buy a property as soon. We'll have to wait potentially. Oh,
goodness knows how long. I don't know how long it's going to take us anyway, really.
Maybe 5 years. Whereas if we go in as EU citizens and wife of EU citizen, we could potentially buy a house. We can buy a house whenever we want, because we don't have to keep that money in the bank.
That's it, yeah. And so that's Spain for now. Back scratcher. And we have, final bit of news is that I had my blood test last week, so the results will come through next week. And this is the first time that I've had blood tests since, if you go back on our playlists, you'll see the amazing blood test results that I got that showed my diabetes symptoms were gone October. So now we'll find out how successful staying on keto has been. That's really exciting. So we've not said much about keto recently. We're still in ketosis. And
the longer we keto diet, we've not changed.
The longer we do it for, the more we can prove that it's sustainable and healthy, which we think it is because we've read up enough on that. And I also can't wait to get to Spain and find out how easy it is to eat this way in the restaurants there. And I have a feeling that the Spanish restaurants will be no problem, but the touristy British ones who serve chips and burgers might be more tricky.
But we wouldn't eat there anyway.
No, I think we just need to find the ones with the chefs who know what we can eat, and we give them a list and say, sin patatas.
Sin patatas.
Sin arroz. So, and we need to learn the words for flour and grains and things like that. And carbohydrate.
Yeah. What a fabulous language it is. Yeah. We're learning Spanish. We're getting there. We're getting slowly but slowly. Slowly.
So, that's the news for this week. And we, as usual, have a song for you. We seem to be singing all the way through anyway. La la la. That was almost the first line of the song. This one, such a happy song. You might think it's a happy song.
It's funny, when I was just saying to Skatz before we went on air, and we just ran through the song quickly because we don't really rehearse anything about this live chat. And we just quickly ran through the song because we'd never sang it together ever. So this is our second run through together, this song. So I was just reminded of my fabulous dad, who sadly has been gone for, I don't know, 42 years or something now. But he introduced me to the fabulous Tom Lehrer. If you can find Tom Lehrer on YouTube after you finish watching us, he does an amazing song where he does lots of different people singing this very song, from Gilbert and Sullivan to Cole Porter.
All in different styles, which is really funny.
It's absolutely hilarious, and I love Tom Lehrer. He's just a genius.
Yes,
he's a chemist, and a physicist as well. So
interestingly enough, I'm good to. That's better. I spelt it wrong. This would have been called "Oh My Darling Clentine." I think you've guessed what it is. Let's do it. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you were lost and gone forever, dreadful sorrow Clementine. In a cavern, in a canyon, excavating for a mine, dwelt a miner 49er, and his daughter Clementine. Years I loved her, how I loved her, though her shoes were number 9. Herring boxes without topses, sandals were for Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you were lost and gone forever, dreadful sorrow Clementine.
Tissues out.
Drove the ducklings to the water every morning just at 9. Hit a foot against the splinter, fell into the foaming brine. Ruby lips above the water, blowing bubbles soft and fine. But alas, I was no swimmer, so I lost my Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you were lost and gone forever, dreadful sorrow Clementine. You were lost and gone forever, dreadful sorrow Clementine. Ah, poor Clementine. Where is she now?
Below the waves.
Oh dear. So
sad.
Yes, I know.
I never knew the second verse. I only knew the first verse.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of knew about the ducklings and that sort of thing, and I knew about the herring boxes for our shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But I had no idea.
The ruby lips
Above the water.
Blowing bubbles soft and fine. Oh my word. We're going to finish on a sad note, aren't we?
It's a bit sad, isn't it?
No, let's give the smiles. It's time for change. And we've changed to smiles. So, peace and love.
Yeah.
And namaste. And we will see you next week. Maybe under a different name.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
And if you liked it, then please give us a like, subscribe, have a look at our Patreon, and check out the merchandise as well.
Oh yes, there's all kinds of t-shirts with these and the things.
U2 Yoga, U2 Spain. We've got it all.
Brilliant. So, bye for now.
Take care. Bye bye.
Take care and click the button. Ah.